Jujutsu Kaisen has taken the anime community by storm. With a genius blend of supernatural and shonen elements mixed in with a little bit of originality, it's no wonder big shonen weebs like myself absolutely love this show. One of Jujutsu Kaisen's main protagonists, and arguably one of, if not the most popular characters in the whole show, is Satoru Gojo. With his white hair, cool and nonchalant demeanor, Gojo gives off major Kakashi vibes and even has the power and the ocular techniques and abilities to match the beloved wielder of the Sharingan. Today I'm going to answer the question we have all been asking since episode 1 of Jujutsu Kaisen: why does Gojo wear a blindfold? What's going on, everybody? You're watching the channel Dr. Applesauce. My name's Will. It's another beautiful day here in Texas. I hope you guys know that I love you, God loves you, and that there is an awesome plan for your life. Gojo is the most powerful sorcerer in the modern world of the Jujutsu Kaisen story, and his power is matched by no one else except that possibly of Sukuna, who Yuji Itadori, the main character of this show, is the vessel for Sukuna's rebirth. Gojo is actually so powerful that he's even feared by the leaders of the Jujutsu Sorcerer Society, to the extent that he was able to force them to cancel their plans to execute Yuta Okkotsu and Yuji Itadori once Yuji became the vessel for Sukuna. This amount of power is actually incredible, because even throughout the anime multiple times, he says things that show that he's even thought about and possibly could carry out, completely overthrowing and destroying all of Jujutsu Society's leadership, but he chooses a different way throughout the series, and he chooses to find talented young sorcerers and raise them up in order to maybe raise up a new generation that believes things the way that he believes things. In addition to that level of power, he's also a master at hand-to-hand combat, so much so that in some of the earlier fight scenes we see Gojo participate in, he doesn't even remove his blindfold, and he's able to actually really take on Jogo and take on Hanami and basically hand-to-hand combat using little to no techniques, and is so powerful and so physically strong in martial arts that he's able to stand up and hold his own against other special grade curses without using any techniques. Another thing that makes Gojo so freaking powerful is that he's actually able to use his domain expansion technique, Unlimited Void, up to 5 times in a single day, when other Jujutsu sorcerers can only use their technique 1 time a day. So he can use Unlimited Void 5 times in a single day, when other cursed spirits or cursed users or other sorcerers can only use it once, giving him a massive advantage in battle over his enemies. Now, while Gojo is definitely one of the most popular characters in the Jujutsu Kaisen anime, and he is also the most powerful sorcerer in the story, a lot of his power is derived from his techniques and abilities. So in order to understand why Gojo actually wears a blindfold all of the time, we have to understand his 2 very special and unique abilities. Basically, Gojo has 2 abilities that really define who he is as a character, who he is as far as power level, why he's so feared and renowned, and also help to understand why he wears a blindfold. And those 2 specific abilities are his Limitless ability and his 6 Eyes ability. Now, Limitless is a technique that's inherited by members of the Gojo family. Essentially, it allows the user to manipulate space at will. Only a member of the Gojo family who also has 6 eyes can master this Limitless technique fully. That's why it's so important and relevant that Gojo has Limitless and 6 eyes. One of the examples of his Limitless ability is his Infinity technique. We see this Infinity technique modeled in his first battle with Jogo, where Jogo is not able to touch him. And essentially, the Infinity technique allows Gojo to manipulate the space around him and essentially create a shield that goes over his entire body, and he can deny people the ability to touch him. Now, Limitless also has a bunch of other applications, but for the sake of this video and understanding why Gojo, the most powerful sorcerer in the Jujutsu Kaisen world, wears a blindfold, we're not going to delve too deep into the Limitless technique and abilities. But if you'd like me to make a video just on all of Gojo's different abilities and why he's so overpowered, drop me a comment down below and let me know. I will make that video if you guys want to see it. Gojo's other special ability is 6 Eyes. Now, 6 Eyes is very, very important to Limitless, and 6 Eyes is a gift that's very rarely inherited in the Gojo family. It manifests as a pair of bright blue eyes, which we've seen Gojo has these bright blue eyes. These eyes give the bearer of 6 Eyes extra sensory perception that includes seeing the flow of cursed energy in such extreme detail and utilizing that to predict and read cursed techniques. This is important for why and how Gojo is able to cover his eyes with a blindfold almost all of the time. Basically, Gojo has 2 incredibly powerful abilities. Limitless lets him manipulate space at will, and 6 Eyes gives him an incredibly heightened perception for cursed energy and the ability to essentially see cursed energy everywhere. Additionally, the six eyes allow for incredibly precise control over the user's cursed energy, which allows the limitless technique to be used to its fullest. So the combination of Gojo having limitless and six eyes allowing Gojo to have a really heightened perception for cursed energy and have incredibly precise control over his own cursed energy is a combination of extreme power. That being said, Gojo is the first sorcerer to be born into the Gojo family with the limitless ability and with the six eyes in 400 years. However, this incredible amount of power, as always with power, comes at a price. The explanation of why Gojo constantly wears a blindfold actually comes directly from the creator of Jujutsu Kaisen, Gege Akutami. Now, Akutami did an interview for the official Jujutsu Kaisen handbook, and we've seen parts of the interview translated into English on Twitter. Akutami tells us that Gojo's six eyes are able to see cursed energy in such incredibly high detail that it's almost like looking through a thermo camera in incredibly high resolution. And Gojo can see cursed energy in this manner even when his eyes are closed or blindfolded. Gojo's six eyes can see cursed energy in such incredible detail that he can even see things that don't inherently have cursed energy, like inanimate objects like buildings and things of that matter, just by the residual cursed energy that kind of moves around it. If this sounds familiar, think about the Marvel superhero Daredevil. Daredevil is able to be a superhero and a crime fighter based on this second sight that he has where he can see the world around him. This is a really good explanation and kind of way to understand how Gojo is able to see the world with the blindfold on, because his six eyes give him this extra perception based upon this heightened sense of cursed energy, so he can see the cursed energy in a high detail, and because he can see the cursed energy in such a high detail, he can see everything else that the cursed energy is flowing around that doesn't inherently have cursed energy itself. Basically, Gojo is incredibly OP and his six eyes give him a second eyesight. In the interview, Akutami continues to explain that if Gojo didn't wear the blindfold, his eyes would actually get tired incredibly fast. All of that to say that the reason Gojo wears a blindfold is that it is because his six eyes are incredibly powerful and they're constantly working when his eyes are open or seeing things that it would wear him out incredibly fast. Since they allow him to see through a second sight via the incredible sensitive perception to cursed energy, he can still see the world through his second sight even if he's wearing a blindfold. So Gojo essentially wears a blindfold so that he can rest his eyes, and you as a viewer know that when he removes it, things are about to go down. Now, you might notice that the younger Gojo that we see in the Jujutsu Kaisen hidden inventory episodes when he's a student doesn't wear a blindfold. The younger Gojo actually wears sunglasses. While the sunglasses don't fully occlude his eyes like a blindfold would, in the interview, creator Akutami explains that if a normal person looked through young Gojo's sunglasses, they would see nothing but pitch black darkness. Additionally, while Gojo was still a student, he hadn't fully developed his limitless techniques and his six eyes. They weren't being used to their full power, meaning they weren't as powerful as they are while he is a grown adult, while he is the most powerful sorcerer in the modern world. So when he was younger, he didn't have to worry about having his eyes opened and uncovered all the time because they weren't working at such a constant heavy pace and they weren't tiring him out as quickly. So we see young Gojo with sunglasses on instead of a blindfold. Basically, the strain to his eyes when he was younger would have been considerably less than the strain to his eyes as he's an adult when he's fully developed and has full mastery over these abilities. Satoru Gojo is an incredible character. He is a fan favorite in the Jujutsu Kaisen anime, and it's really interesting to see and understand why he wears the blindfold and how he has this crazy ocular eye abilities and power that make him so incredibly strong that he has to essentially close his eyes and keep them blindfolded the vast majority of the time, but he's so powerful that that doesn't hamper him in any way, shape, or form. Gojo is an incredibly Giga Chad character, and he's one of the coolest characters in Jujutsu Kaisen. Drop me a comment down below. Let me know who your favorite character in Jujutsu Kaisen is, and if you want me to do a deeper dive into all of Gojo's abilities, let me know down in the comments below as well. And if you enjoyed that one, guys, I'm sure you'll enjoy this one. And like I always say, my friends, find somebody to love and serve today. Be the change you want to see in the world. See you next time.